Something unusual is brewing in Cleveland, and it's not the kind of quarterback drama Browns fans are used to. A rookie quarterback who hasn't even taken a single first-team snap is shredding the defense in minicamp like he's been in the league for a decade. 9 touchdowns, 1 interception, poise and precision that feel more like the product of a 10-year career than the raw energy of a first-year player. And all of this is happening in just 5 practices. No hype machine, no easy reps, no free passes, just cold, hard results. His name? Shadore Sanders. Yes, that's Shadore Sanders, son of Deion Primetime Sanders. The same young quarterback that analysts dismissed as a developmental project who'd spend the season buried at the bottom of the Browns' depth chart. The same player critics claimed wasn't ready for NFL speed. Now he's turning that narrative on its head, outplaying everyone in the building while being denied the one thing that could fully validate his rise. Real first-team opportunities. Not a single snap with the starters. No sudden elevation on the depth chart. No public praise from the coaching staff. But behind the scenes, the whispers are growing. Teammates are taking notice. Reporters are buzzing. Fans are starting to ask the question the front office doesn't want to answer. Why isn't Shadore Sanders being taken seriously as a potential Week 1 starter? Because let's be real, when veterans like Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett are struggling to find rhythm and fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel is still adjusting to the NFL's speed, Sanders' rapid ascent is turning the entire quarterback room upside down. This isn't just a camp curiosity. This is the start of a quarterback controversy the Browns didn't plan for, but might have no choice but to confront. Let's break down this Browns quarterback room because on paper, it's crowded but not exactly inspiring. Joe Flacco, the aging, steady veteran. Kenny Pickett, the Steelers cast off hoping for a reboot. Dillon Gabriel, the raw, mobile rookie with big play potential but a steep learning curve. And now, Shadore Sanders, the unexpected wildcard shaking up every assumption the coaching staff had coming into camp. The problem? NFL teams don't carry 4 quarterbacks into the regular season. 3 is the absolute max for most rosters, and often it's just 2 with a practice squad stash, which means someone is getting cut, someone is getting benched. And if Sanders keeps performing at this level, someone is about to be exposed. No one expected Shedeur to even be in this conversation, let alone driving it. When Cleveland brought him in, most assumed he'd be a 2-year project, a clipboard holder learning behind Flacco and Pickett. But here we are, less than a week into camp, and he's dominating team drills with 9 touchdowns and just 1 interception. All of it coming while running with the backups, not the top weapons, not the first-string offensive line. And yet, he's making magic. That's not just a good camp. That's the kind of performance that forces coaches to have uncomfortable conversations. If Flacco sputters in preseason, if Pickett continues to look average, if Gabriel proves too green, the Browns will have to answer for why the most productive quarterback in their building isn't in serious consideration for the starting job. The stats tell the story. 9 touchdowns, 1 interception, 5 practices. A rookie going against pro-level defensive talent and making them look pedestrian. And remember, those numbers are coming without first-team reps. No Amari Cooper, no best pass protection, no elite supporting cast. Observers say Sanders has been surgical in red zone drills, threading passes into impossible windows, diagnosing coverages before the snap, and adjusting on the fly like a seasoned pro. His 1 interception? A timing route miscommunication, not a reckless heave into double coverage. And how did he respond? By coming back on the next drive and tossing 2 touchdowns in 7 plays. That's composure you can't teach. Fans are buzzing. Analysts are noticing. One insider even said Sanders already looks more comfortable than Pickett ever has in an NFL pocket. He's checking every box you'd want to see. Accuracy, poise, decision-making, consistency. Traits that usually take rookies years to develop, he's displaying in under a week. The natural question becomes, what happens when, not if, he gets first-team reps? Because the great ones aren't just about arm strength or athleticism. It's about how fast they process, how confidently they execute, how well they elevate the team around them. And that's exactly what Sanders is doing. Remember, this is a kid raised by a Hall of Famer. Deion Sanders didn't just raise his son to throw a football, he raised him to carry himself like a professional under the brightest lights. Shedeur grew up with pressure, cameras, and expectations in his face. Let's talk about Joe Flacco, because while he's projected to start Week 1, nobody truly believes he's a long-term answer in Cleveland. Flacco's a respected veteran, a former Super Bowl MVP, and yes, he played hero ball for the Browns last season, helping stabilize a chaotic year. But he's 40 years old, immobile, and has already shown the physical limitations that come with age. What you see is what you get. A steady presence, conservative decision-making, and enough arm strength to keep you competitive, but not enough to win shootouts against the NFL's elite. In a quarterback room full of youth, athleticism, and upside, Flacco feels more like a placeholder than a cornerstone. Stefanski sees him as a bridge, the guy you start while your younger quarterbacks learn and grow. But what happens when that bridge starts to crumble? If Flacco struggles in the preseason or throws a couple of costly interceptions early in the regular season, that safe option quickly becomes a liability. And when the fan base knows there's a promising rookie lighting up practice, the calls for change get louder. Flacco may be the bridge, but Shadore Sanders might just be the highway waiting to bypass him completely. Once that momentum builds, it's hard to stop. Then there's Dillon Gabriel. The Browns drafted him because of his big arm, mobility, and playmaking potential. He's electric in flashes, able to escape the pocket and launch deep strikes that make you say, wow. But those flashes fade. Gabriel's footwork is inconsistent, his reads are late, and he's still struggling to master structured NFL drills. He'll uncork one perfect deep ball, then miss on 3 routine throws. From a coaching perspective, that's a problem. Reliability matters more than raw highlight potential. Sanders is bringing that reliability now, working through progressions, taking the safe check down when needed, and hitting receivers in stride without requiring perfect conditions. Gabriel might eventually get there, but right now, Sanders is the one showing NFL readiness. And in a league where most teams carry only 3 quarterbacks, the Browns probably won't keep both rookies if Pickett stays on the roster. That makes this a survival game, and anyone paying attention can see who's ahead. Kenny Pickett is in dangerous territory. Not long ago, he was Pittsburgh's first-round pick, touted as a pro-ready quarterback who could lead the Steelers for a decade. But fast forward, and his stock has crashed. His decision-making is hesitant, his accuracy inconsistent, and his confidence appears shaken. Now in Cleveland, Pickett is trying to prove the Steelers wrong. But so far, all he's done is confirm the doubts. Reports say he's been average at best in camp, missing easy reads, throwing behind receivers, and taking too long to get the ball out. Meanwhile, Sanders is attacking the defense with precision and confidence. And this isn't just about stats, it's about presence. One quarterback looks like he's trying not to make mistakes. The other looks like he's taking control. If Sanders keeps stacking strong practices and Pickett can't produce a dominant preseason performance, the decision to keep him becomes harder to justify. There's already talk inside the building that Pickett's roster spot is anything but secure. And if the Browns are forced to trim the QB room, it won't be Sanders packing his bags. Which brings us to the question nobody in Cleveland wants to say out loud, but everyone is thinking, could Shadore Sanders actually start Week 1? On the surface, it sounds like wishful thinking, until you watch the tape, until you see him completing over 77% of his passes, until you see the 9 touchdowns in 5 practices, the lightning fast release, the poise under pressure, until you compare him to the competition and realize none of them are standing out the way he is. Flacco is the default choice, but that's all he is, the default. Pickett is shaky, Gabriel is developing. Sanders, he's producing. He's outperforming expectations in every measurable way. Nobody's saying he needs to be named QB1 tomorrow, but if the Browns are serious about winning now, they need to give him a real shot. All it might take is one strong preseason showing, one slow start from Flacco, one crowd chant after a highlight pass. Suddenly, the QB room becomes a full-blown battle royale. Browns fans have waited decades for stability under center. They've endured a carousel of names and a parade of false starts. Now, they might have a player who can break that cycle, if the organization is willing to take the leap. The NFL is ruthless when it comes to opportunity. Some players wait years for their shot. Others force the issue so strongly that they can't be ignored. Shadore Sanders is working his way into that second category. Every rep, every throw, every moment of command in the huddle is another piece of evidence that he might already be the most ready quarterback on the roster.